guys. What we got here? Girsen regard. Amazing gun. 9mm. Double action. Single action. Super easy slide. I recommend always having your safety on when you're cocking it. One reason why I got this gun is because my wife had a hard time finding handguns, full-size handguns that actually had an easier slide to rack back. About the only other slide that my wife could rack was the Easy Shield 9mm. And then I found this. You couldn't take 2 fingers. Look. That's how easy it is. And I love the grooves. I love the two-tone. The gray and the black. Has a beautiful finish on it. This is a really nice finish. Fits really good in your hand. I love the double action. And I love that when the safety's on, you can press the trigger. Like that. I love that. I had PT Taurus 92 on my channel. You can see that. I never had a Beretta or a Beretta clone with the slide safety. I've always had frame safeties. I love my 1911s. This is 18 plus 1. That's a lot of ammo for a handgun. It's nice and heavy. It should shoot really good. I know my Taurus PT 92 shot really good. Nice handgun for the price. Really nice. What we have here is the Honcho 410 gauge. I got the belt off of Amazon. Let's clear this. These are 2 3/4 slugs, 100-ounce slug magnums. I got the belt off of Amazon, 20 or 30 bucks. Took about a month to get. Hook it right up with heavy keychain rings. And I have kids, so I did have the Honcho 12 gauge. And that's just too much. Trying to shoot a 12 gauge without a stock on it, that hurt my wrist. After the first 5 shots, you just point and you're pretty much hip spraying at that point, hoping to just hit something. And it's unrealistic. I can't afford to waste that kind of money. You know, I'm all for having a good time, but if you're going to have a good time, at least hit what you're shooting. You know? And those are just unrealistic. You know? A lot of power in a 12 gauge. So I ended up selling that, and I found this after a year. You know? I don't order things I don't buy guns or ammo on the internet. So I live up in Michigan, and I eventually found this at J Sporting Goods. I love J Sporting Goods and all the local gun shops. And I bought this. And you can shoot this one-handed. That's why I got it. I have an 11-year-old boy, a 9-year-old girl, and a 7-year-old girl. And I got this because I know growing up, I always wanted a 410 because of the light recoil. And my 11-year-old boy can pretty much put this on his back whenever we go deer hunting or in any kind of situation. You know, I know that my wife can shoot this. She can load this. There's just 2 downfalls to this gun. I wouldn't even really say the second. The second issue is the downfall of the gun. More or less, it is the ammo. The first and only issue I have with the gun is that this does not lock back. You have to have the safety off in order to rack it after it has been fired. See, with the safety on, can't rack it. Safety off, you can. But once you rack it, it has a spring, which is cool if you're 11, 12, 13, 14, you know. But once you get up older than that, I wish that it worked like a normal shotgun and this held open. You can take, I have cut the spring down. I took the spring out to half, because if you get into a situation where you need to maybe do one at a time. You pull this out. You pull this down. Now you have to put your thumb around the barrel. Put that in there. Rack it. And because it doesn't stay open on its own, you have to hold it. There is no button like on the Remingtons or on the Mossbergs. You know, the Shockwaves and the TAC 14 and all that. You know, I've had those guns. And that is the only downfall of this shotgun. Well, I mean, other than it doesn't have a rail, but I mean, at 100 yards, that's about as far as you want to shoot with this, you know. You know, but other than that, I mean, it's not really a huge deal because I can do it, you know. You load them, put one in there. There, see? But in an adrenaline situation, you know, you're not really even gonna notice. Make sure it's empty. It's empty. Put the safety on. I love different things. I love things that you can customize, and you can customize it. I love things that you can keep as factory as you can, and when you do customize it, you enhance it as much as you can with as little enhancement and customization as you can. Adding a belt to this means that I no longer have to rely on a removable side shell holster, Velcro, you know, and stuff. It means that I don't have to worry about putting on a vest, make sure I got my ammo in there. I got 15 rounds right here of slugs, you know, and I looked all over the internet and I was skeptical about this. This is on Amazon. Amazon or eBay, one or the other. I'm pretty sure I got it on Amazon, but it came from China. I wasn't sure with the way COVID is and stuff, I was ever even going to get it. But this is an awesome little gun. You know, it's really cool. Anybody can shoot it, which makes it desirable. You can find them cheap online. I paid about $350 for this at Jay's, almost nearly $400 because, you know, it's a firearm. And who knows when the government might end up taking, you know, these off the market. You know, at that point they'll be, you know, nobody will ever get rid of them. 12 gauge is just too much. It doesn't end up being fun after the 6th or 7th round, you know. I could shoot this all day long, literally, you know. I could shoot both these guns all day long. 18 plus 1, you get a couple extra mags, you know. I'm out there shooting with this. My boy, my girl, they're out there with this, you know, carrying this over their shoulder, you know, with their ammo like this. Thinking that they're a regular Rambo. Come on, everybody at that age, you know, wants to be Rambo, you know, quickly down under. Well, I mean, I'm 32, at least for me growing up, you know. I've always wanted a Sharps, but I never had that kind of money. I'm a truck driver, so. But, yeah, this is a great gun. I've shot it once, and there's literally no recoil as far as I'm concerned. You could shoot this one-handed, you know, if you're in your 30s and you know, I mean, just if you're strong, you can shoot it one-handed. But if you are out in the wilderness, out in the woods, wherever you're at, and you have a tree branch, you could literally prop this up there, because it does have a sight. Prop this up there, kind of aim, hold it, and you could get a deer with this, with these slugs. You could get a deer, you could get turkey, you got close enough. Squirrels, you can get any kind of game, pretty much. If but that's all place shot meant, you know. And I watch all the movies. You know, I've had Caltech Sub 2000. I've had this. I've had this in 12 gauge. I've had this Girsen Regard, which is an excellent gun. I've had the Taurus PT92. I've had the Shield 9mm, the original ones. You know, I've had the Taurus G2C, like I think it's the G2Cs. I've had those. I'm a huge Taurus fan. I really am. You know, and I've had 1911 Tauruses. You know, I've had Henry Golden Boy lever actions, and I'm a huge fan of them. They're just heavy. You know, unless you don't plan on being out. You know, having long walks carrying a Golden Boy because that's 12 pounds for their 22s. I remember how heavy they were. I remember I've had the 7.62 by 54. That bolt action. When I was younger, I had one of those from Dunham's for like $120. You know, when ammo was cheap. You know, 5, 6 years ago. Uh, what the heck was that darn gun rifle called? Um, it was the long wooden gun. It was a heavy one. You know what I'm trying to say. It was Mosin Nagant. I've had the Mosin Nagants. I've shot my dad's, you know, Remington 870 16 gauge, you know, growing up hunting and stuff. I've always been into guns. I've never been into AR-15s. I've never been into AK-47s. You know, it's just there was really no reason to growing up. You know, not that I don't believe in anybody should own them. You know, I think they're really cool to handle, but I've never been to war, so there's really no reason for me to own one. You know, and with the family and stuff, it's not they're not very family or kid friendly. You know, they're the AR-15s have a lot of components to them. You know, you're pulling the charging handle back, slap it, button to put your magazine in. You know, my 11-year-old boy, he's just too young for that. You know, this is simple. You know, you pump it, put some ammo in it, you pump it, pull the trigger. You know, I like to keep things that. One of my favorite guns is the Ruger 1022. I customize those like crazy. They got so many customizations out there for those Ruger 1022s. You know, in my opinion, if you are going to start martial law, and on the news, on the TV right now, they said that they were going to come around and confiscate everybody's weapons. I mean, what are you honestly going to do? They have tanks, they have missiles, you know, they have everything they need to conquer countries. And you think even 50 people loaded up with AR-15s is going to stop tanks, you know? It's tanks and armies, you know. If they really wanted to come get our guns, they could. There's nothing we could do about it, you know. It's not the Civil War anymore. It's not the Revolutionary War. It's not Gettysburg, you know. It's not the Boston Tea Party. You know, we're not shooting muskets at each other. The playing field is not even anymore. You know, we do not have, not all citizens don't have grenades and dynamite and C4. You know, we're not. It's unrealistic. If they're gonna come get our guns, they're gonna get them. It's just whether or not you want to stand your ground, and if it's worth dying over, because they will shoot. They take orders and they will kill you. In order, if they are told to. That's just the bottom line, you know. But in the process, I'm gonna live my life. I drive semi. I work very hard to take care of my 3 kids and my wife, and we've had dogs growing up. I grew up on the farm. I've had a good life, and if the government wants to take my guns, I will die fighting them. But the odds are I will lose. You know, I don't have an army. I don't have a country backing me up, you know. I don't have a government with trillions of dollars, willing to give me tanks to help fight back. I'll be a part of the resistance, but I don't really see too much hope in that, unless we the people isn't exactly we the people anymore, unfortunately, in this day and age, and I'm just being realistic about it. You know, every, you hear a lot of talk about Trump and Biden and all that, and I really don't care about too much of that. I care about my freedoms in terms of being able to work and take care of my family in the capacity that I feel I should and can be able to. When it comes to my guns, I am passionate about them. I drive a motorcycle. I have a beautiful Honda Fury. And I am thankful for the people who fought to get this country to where it's at. And I hope that it stays where it's at in terms of constitutional freedoms and stuff. But if the government decides to send out 200-300 tanks and go through city by city by city in the United States, they're going to get the guns. You cannot stop tanks with AR-15s and AK-47s and 12-gauge slugs. That they will shoot you and you will die. They will blow your house up and they won't even blink an eye. That's just the reality of it. They have battleships, destroyers. They can shoot 100 miles away, and destroy cities if they wanted to. So, but I will fight and give my life to defend, my family, my country, my honor. That's just who I am, I am not Republican or Democrat. I am a person who grew up on the farm, who came from a bad situation until I was 4 years old, where I was adopted out. I appreciate everything my father did for me growing up, and now I am my own man with my own family. I have guns, a little bit of money, not very much, motorcycle, a good job, and I do not believe in taking the vaccine because that is my personal choice. That is my freedom to express my own personal belief, and my family feels the same way, but let's just get back to, I think that this is cool. I think that a gun like this should have a belt like this with your ammo on it, I don't think that, I think that they should be pretty much sold with the option of having belts like this, because if you're going to get into a situation where you need this for self-defense, you either have 4 in here and then 1 in the chamber, 5 rounds, and if you do not hit the person with those 5 rounds, you better have a side saddle holster on for extra rounds or a backup firearm, which is why I got this. I don't keep my guns loaded. I keep them in a safe. I keep the keys away from the kids. And as far as I'm concerned, you should never put yourself in a situation where you run out of ammo and now you become the victim. You go from being the hunter to hunted at that point. This is why I have this. Plus that's just my opinion. That I think that people would be wise to buy something like this and then add something on like this, because you never know what kind of situation you're going to get in. That is why policemen carry so many rounds on them, You're like, well, he's got 20 rounds, he's got 1 in his gun, he's got 18 plus 1, if you're carrying a Glock, whatever. Plus he's got 1 other magazine, that's 30 rounds, How many freaking rounds do you need to take down a bad guy if you're that good of a shot? But the truth is, once your adrenaline gets going, you either are a good shot and have trained while your adrenaline is up, or you are a bad shot and your adrenaline is up. It's one or the other. And I have not had practice with these guns. I have shot guns, just growing up regularly. I'm not a pro or nothing like that, But if I am, I know that if the time ever comes, and I need to use this for self-defense, I know I have ammo with me. That is how you win a fight, you know. Either you're a good shot or you have more ammo than the other guy. That is my personal opinion. I watch Iraq Veteran 88, Plinkster 22, Hickok 45, you know, all kinds of stuff on YouTube. I've been watching this stuff for a long time. I've been into guns for a long time, you know, and yeah, about the only other thing I can think about this gun is putting a flashlight on it, but then I don't really plan on using this at night. If I have to use this gun at night, I'm going to have a different gun, you know. I would much rather put a gun on this, my rail, you know, and be able to bring it in, bring it over, you know, go around corners, whatever that may be, you know. And I'm going to have a lot more ammo, and the 9mm will go just as far, if not farther, than a 410 slug. So it's just as deadly, and I have much, much more maneuverable capabilities with my handgun, you know. But pretty much I got this for the cool factor and for the kids to use it growing up, you know. Hopefully they don't end up banning them, you know. But as far as I just think it's cool. I also had I also think that the Kel-Tec Sub 2000 is pretty cool. I just wish that they had a spot on it for an extra magazine, you know, and I think that would be pretty cool if they did that, like the Roni, how you can put for the Glocks, you can put an extra magazine up in the front, you know, in front of the pistol, where you would normally rest your hand. They have a part there, but, you know, and the high point rifles, I had a 9mm high point rifle also with the extra magazines on the rear end of the stock, each one on the stock, and I thought that was pretty cool. You know, I like customizing my stuff. As you can see, you'll go to my webpage. But I haven't seen, I've seen a couple other good reviews, but that's about it. So I'm not going to shoot this because I live in a trailer park. But, you know, just I'm living my life the way I want to live it. And guns are a part of my life. Motorcycles, driving semi, you know. But I think that this is just cool. And if you are going to own one of these, 12 gauge, 410, 20, you know, I wouldn't even mind this in a 20 gauge for myself, you know. You know, and 20 gauge isn't too extreme. You can have fun with 20 gauge also, you know, and it's just hard to find ammo, you know, and I have slugs. Now all I need is buckshot. And one other thing I forgot to mention is that these are brass. Make sure that you feed your ammo, make sure that it feeds, because tolerances up in your tube, some of these like to get stuck because they're not completely circular, and the completely like diameter of your tube in there. But just make sure you feed your ammo, make sure it works ahead of time. You know, you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you have bad ammo and it doesn't feed or anything like that, especially with brass. But at least with brass, you know that you can be a little bit rougher with it than you can with the soft shell ammo. You know, if it gets jammed, you know you can hook on there with a pair of pliers, whatever you need. Shove a rod down your tube, you know, whatever. That's why I like brass, you know. It's a hard case, pretty much. And that will pretty much, you know, you could be rougher with it. But I think that this is cool. I just wish that it stuck open. But there are ways around that, you know. You can deal with it. You adapt to your situations. But yeah. That is it for me. I am going to let you guys go. A cool gun to have. It really is, you know. And a lot of people think 410 is almost a joke with self-defense. Try getting hit with the slug and then telling that to the person who shot you. You know, everybody's willing to say that 410 is a more or less lethal round than and is not wise to use it, you know. like people say 45. You want 45 will put you down. 9 will wound you, but a 9 will definitely kill you. A 22 will kill you. If you watch Iraq Veteran 88, you know he is proven that a 22 will kill you at a certain amount of yards, and I was even surprised at that. It's all about shot placement, you know, and a gun is a gun and a bullet's a bullet, and people are not bulletproof. And the ones who talk like they are bulletproof are the ones who have not gotten shot at or been in those situations. And I hope and wish that they never do. And that'll be it for me. That's just cool. I just hooked them on with some heavy duty key rings that came with it in the box. This is brand new, only shot once. You have to. You can hold it like that. You can do whatever you want. I just think that's cool. I love messing with it. And don't comment on my video and be like, "Well, you shouldn't have your gun out with line of ammo." I am disciplined. I'm not a rookie. I'm not a newbie. You know, there are dumb people and smart people. You know, and obviously you're watching this video and you have seen that I have not put any rounds in the chamber and fired it because I am smart. So, you know, I'm not drunk. I'm not on drugs. So, give people a little benefit of the doubt, a little credit, you know, that they know what they're doing. And, you know, leave a good comment, you know. Leave a good comment. And I hope you like the strap because I kind of think that that's the right way to go, you know. And it also gives you a different kind of way that you can hold it. You know, put it around your back, over your arm, whatever. My 11-year-old puts it right over his shoulder. It fits him perfectly. You know, if him and me ever get into a situation where we're at home and I need him to defend himself, he's got 15 rounds right on him, and I know that he can shoot this gun. You know, he can shoot this and hold this, handle this better than he can this 9 with the full size grip and everything and frame. You know, and less mechanical moving parts in this in order to reload it if it gets jammed than there is with this handgun. You know. But it's personal preference, you know. But that's going to be it. Y'all stay safe and keep shooting.